Welcome to the Business Playroom, Series 2, walking into our brand new set with some superstars here to join me. Sitting beside here is Mark Bowness. Thank you very much for coming in.
Amazing to be here.
And over here to my right is the amazing Francesca Moi.
Hello.
As our special guest and co-host, Renée. Now, I just have to say too, is that sitting over here is two women that have helped shape my year this year. Renée being my current mentor and person who slaps me around the ears now and then. And Francesca Moi, the person that in February I was at my dad's house going, I have to make this work, it's now or never. And here I am sitting with you on the show.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I love it here and I love your journey the last 12 months. It was very impressive to watch.
It's been, as you would know, a roller coaster.
Yes.
So you've been in business for 3 years.
Yes.
And for me, that's quite a sharp trajectory. That's my big one for today. That's a big rise.
Yes.
How did you do that?
Well, that's a really good question. One of my biggest beliefs in business is to work on your mindset. And I believe that our business is a 3D printout of our thoughts. So 3 years ago, I didn't believe it. And you could see that for the first 6 months. I pretty much didn't do anything. And I was just trying, but I was afraid of what people were thinking about me and, you know, stand out in Facebook, people judge you. I was so terrified of that. And then eventually working on my mindset, I went, you know what, I just need to be me and who cares? And when I let that go, it's just been the funniest journey ever. But obviously I work hard, very hard.
I've seen you do work hard. There's a couple of things that popped out for me there. One was your mindset, and I heard Mark go, beside me here. So you obviously agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the bit about judgment and other people's judgment of you, because how many times does that stop us from launching a business or doing what we want to do in the world? That's awesome.
And that's actually the premise behind what I teach too, is literally just be you, get out of your own way and stand in it, because if people are going to judge you, just give them the whole picture, be yourself, give them the whole picture, and then that's very hard to judge you by.
Yeah. Oh, well, at least they're judging something real and
yes. And then if they are, then they're not. If
they're going to do it
judging
anyway.
in a negative way, they're not your tribe.
Exactly. So it's like selection, right?
Yeah.
That's so true.
And so you're on a tour at the moment.
Yes.
What is this tour?
Well, this tour is 7 cities in 4 weeks and 25 events.
Wow.
It's a little bit full on.
This is what's possible pre-kids, I'm just going to say that.
Well, you know, it's commitment and you just have to plan it properly, and we're actually very surprised with the huge results we're getting, and yeah, it's very, very exciting. Some events are very small, but it's all, you know, public speaking, and it doesn't matter the number of the audience. That's what people really stop themselves. They want big rooms and want big numbers straight away, and it doesn't matter if you get 10 people in the room, it could be the right 10 people, so it's good.
Yeah. Francesca, you said before that you're in the middle of a national tour,
Yes.
so and we're going to talk about how to actually create a successful national tour. So, but why? Why do you do that? What's the point of having the tour? Why would somebody who's watching want to consider doing that?
Well, the national tour for me was a way to not look famous, but pretty much, right? Because I was doing a lot of travel. I was traveling so much, and I was like, it didn't have a flow throughout the year. So last year, I literally burned out because I was traveling a lot, but it was always hard to fill a room. Like, it wasn't like I'm in national tour 3 times a year, so you know that I'm coming back to the city in that time. So if you can't make it now, that's when it's gonna. Instead, before it was sort of scattered, and it was so hard to have that momentum. And
so you obviously plan your calendar out the whole year in advance.
Yes. So now we are, already planned everything for 2018 is already done, and I'm already starting 2019 in my head. So where I'm gonna go, in case of
Do you do this, Mark, as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as you say, it's taken a business offline that's really, really important. It's the whole relational marketing thing. Connecting with people at a deep level, which we're all seeing more and more, and is certainly the way to grow in terms of business. Well, previously it was online, right?
Because Renée is the person that made me plan out my 6 months at a time, and now I've realised listening to you now and finally listening to Renee, is that
Finally.
I've got to shake him up quite a bit.
I have to do the same thing. Like next year has to look, I need to know what it looks like from
Yes.
January to December.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
And that's hard for a lot of entrepreneurs to even think past the next month. That's
yeah.
really hard.
Well, the thing is, it's overwhelming. When you see your planner for 2018, you go, great, I'm not going to have a life again. Because you go, how am I going to feed my social life throughout this?
But also for many other people, to plan a year, as you say, they would be looking at how do I fill those spaces? How do I get bums on seats?
Nice segue.
Thanks.
Love
Nice.
it. I love it. Yes.
And that answer to that question is how do you get bums
well,
on seats?
how do you do that? That's the thing. You start with obviously having a plan, and having a plan is one of the biggest thing. And then once you have a plan, you got to start to build that network in that city. So if if you're going to a national tour, for example, this national tour is Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast. So it's 7 cities, and so you start a couple of months before, and you start to connect with the people of influence in those cities, and you start to go, I'm coming to town, I'd love to give you a free ticket, do you want to advertise it? And so that you connect with the right people that will start to help you expand your network. And it's about giving and receiving, right? It's sort of that connection. So that's how you start when you don't have a big network. And obviously being active on Facebook groups, the Facebook groups are the right cities, and you just start to build that momentum as you come along. And you start to talk about it everywhere. So every Facebook Live, every social media, everything I do is about, I'm about to go on national tour. So people that are in the cities are going, is she coming to my city? And they check it out.
What are some of the things that you teach on this tour, in this workshop, that are real takeaways for people? Because obviously if they're coming to your workshop, they're wanting to get bums on seats, and in their own way, you're teaching people to become a entrepreneur, rock star, or celebrity, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the way you put it. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And the thing is, people come to me literally like a week before they've got an event and it's empty. And they go, I am here, teach me how to do it. I'm like, okay, all right.
How long is your lead up? How long do you think you should do a lead up?
Well, that's the thing. It's not about, once you have a network, you can do an event in 2 days.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. But the problem is that you need to build the network first. So we need to start from the beginning. We need to start from basics. And I need people to start to be active online. There's no point. The amount of people that come to my half-day workshop and they go, I've got enough, I'm going to do it. And they go home and they start a meetup group and nobody will show up because there's no one in the network, right? So if I'm invisible and I still try to, to get out there, there's nothing there. There's nothing to show it. So we need to start the network first. So I spend a lot of time at my half-day workshop talking about the why it's important to have a network. And still after 4 hours, some people go, I'll start a meetup now. I'm like, no, build your network. But I've got an event, I need to fill it. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't plan it right. So just hold your horses, go back, start from scratch. And that's how a lot of us are impatient. We want results yesterday.
But there's also a perception around our perceived network. Yeah. So somebody might say, I'm going to launch, but I've got 3,000 friends or likes on my Facebook page, but no substance to it, but they don't realise that there's a lack of it. So how do you deal with that?
What do you mean, I like what you just said, what do you mean lack of substance to those? So let's say I've got 3,000 followers, or people who like my business page. What do you mean they have no substance? You mean they're not...
There's no engagement, there's no interaction, there's no communication. But this is Francesca's segment, so let's ask a question to her. Sorry, let's get back to you.
You sounded like you knew what you were talking about.
Well, that's really important. A lot of people think that just because I've got some likes or some friends, I've got an interaction. We need to build trust on social media. We need to build trust with our tribe. We need to be open and be, without hiding anything. And we need to be consistent. We can't be like, oh, okay, I've got an event and I've done 2 live videos and I don't get why people are not coming. It's like, well, you need to be there every single day. You need to show up, So it's just consistently showing up and be open to let people see the back scene and, things that you'd never show.
Francesca,
Yes.
You've written 2 books.
Yes.
And I can't say your first book in the same way. Tell me the first book.
Follow me, shut up, and build your network.
I could have said that, but how do you say shut up normally?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
And Bums on Seats, and that's with Natasha Denman.
Yes.
Tell me what's in that Bums on Seats one?
So the Bums on Seats book was one of the best things that have happened to me because I was sort of I was saying that I was teaching business owners how to put bums in seats. I just didn't realize the power of it until I wrote that book with Natasha. Natasha at the time had a $1.5 million business, and at the time I was just on a 6-figure business. So for me, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm writing a book with a star. And when I realized that everything that I don't even know how I started to do it organically in my business, she was actually implementing it. So I started to see myself in her and went, this is happening. Like I'm in the right spot because I'm teaching people to do what she did and what Tony Robbins did, and all the things that people never know how to do, the bums and seats. So for me, it was a massive learning curve because I realized sort of the value that I was giving to people was actually real.
Yeah, and I think that it's important too to think about why do we want to get bums on seats? Why do we want to actually have people in a room? Because it's easy to get sucked into this whole online business, and I do all my marketing online, and I'm on Facebook every day, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But until you actually get in front of someone face to face, like the know, like, and trust factor just goes through the roof.
Oh, totally.
Like I could spend 6 months communicating with someone on Facebook, and they still may or may not buy, but I could spend less than 2 hours in the room with someone, and they're like, where do I sign up?
Yes.
The power of face to face is massive, and I think it's easy for us as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people who work from home to kind of get sucked into this in front of their desk every day kind of lifestyle.
Yes. And
it's a black hole. Get back out there and see people, and that's why Bums on Seats is so important to me, that I think is, this year I've started running my own live events as well, and I had forgotten how much I love that.
Exactly, it's the
I
fun part
love
of
that.
it as well.
Yes, it's
It's the
fun. It's good to
best.
actually see human beings.
Yeah.
To move away from the screen, to get in front of human beings. And I think that what you're doing is so powerful, because getting bums on seats and being in the room with people will boom your business like nothing else.
I love it. That's exactly what I say. See, you should have done my intro.
And this is why too it's so key to be authentic in your social media and show up on the bad days and the good days, because you're going to attract the right tribe who come to your workshops, which make them even better because you're dealing with that like-minded person.
Yes. So what happened is that a lot of people come to me and say, Francesca, I want bums on seats, but I want the right people in the room. I don't want the wrong people, I want the right people. And I say, okay, well, why? Why do you want the right people? Like, it's as if like you go and speak somewhere and you expect to have like 100% of the room that will convert into something. Like, you're dreaming. It's not going to happen.
Does it really?
No. Really? Exactly right. That's not going to happen.
Burst your bubble.
I'm sorry to tell you the reality check, right? So this is the funnel, and that's a little bit how I would draw a funnel. And we say, okay, well, I want people in the room. I want to build trust. So obviously you build trust at the top. That's what I say that people are missing. And then when you build enough trust, people will go to the next level. And then obviously we got books and we got things, in between. It doesn't go straight from building trust on social media to a half-day workshop, but obviously that's the dream. So you go build trust to a half-day workshop, which I usually say the half-day workshop should be very low in price, less than $100. Under 100, I wanted to say. Less than $100, because there's not enough trust to spend any more money. And that's where a lot of people go I think wrong, because they go, but I'm going to give so much value in the half a day, then I'm going to do a half day for $400. But there is I've done now my half day in front of 1,000 people so far, and every single half day I ask, would you have paid $300? And they will go, no. I'm like, why? Excuse me? But the truth is they wouldn't have, because they don't know me yet. But then from there, it's easy for me to convert to a $10,000 program. How do I do that? Because in these 4 hours, I wow them. It's 4 hours where I wow them, I teach them, I give them value, right? And people say to me, okay, Francesca, so if I do a national tour of half-day workshop, you're going to show me how to get quality people here. And I said, well, actually, no, I'm not going to show you how to get quality people here. I'm going to show you how to get probably 10% of the room will be quality, but 10% will be quantity. And so we concentrate on quantity at the top of the funnel, and we concentrate on quality at the bottom of the funnel. So the right people will be the right people that join my mafia, for example, they are here. Those are the right people, the quality people, the people that see me and resonate with me and they go, shut up, this is the person I want to work with.
So this is like a sieve.
Yes.
And all the big grains, the ones you don't really want, get stuck in the sieve, and the fine powder goes through.
True.
I like that you used grains there. I was wondering if you were going to refer to people at the top as that don't go through as the shit doesn't fall through
The sprouts.
Well, in saying that, I was sharing this in one of the half-day workshop and one lady got offended. She's like, are you saying that I'm not quality? I'm like, well, you consider yourself that. I'm just saying that it's like about the right people, right? So
I didn't plant that seed, it just came from you.
oh, that was hilarious. I was like, no, I'm just saying that, 90% of the room here will do nothing with what I'm teaching. You will go away, you will say amazing, but you will do nothing. Hopefully 10 to 30%, who knows, will decide to come along and work with me further. And that's where, we were just talking about this before, that's where you make the big bucks. You don't make money. This is all marketing. When I do my half-day workshop in any city, I don't cover costs. I don't cover costs of travel, accommodation, and advertising. It doesn't happen.
I understand that. Yeah. What I'd like to know, and I guess viewers like to know too, is what is the trust part?
What I used to build trust, one of the biggest things that I use is Facebook personal profile, that a lot of people are scared to use, but that's one of the biggest tools that we use. Facebook groups are massive, and not just being active on other people's group, but you actually create your own tribe and your own groups. And with that, we go with Meetup as well. So creating your own Meetup group, it's huge. But the biggest thing that we do is find a lot of guest speaking gigs. And when you get a guest speaking gig, you convert to the next level. So every half-day workshop, I always wish that my dream is to have at least 2 speaking gigs to fill the event. And then obviously I'll do the rest as well. Nice. Now I've done this strategy, and my clients are doing this strategy, and they are achieving $55,000 national tours, which is really huge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I just want to follow up on what you've said about the Facebook personal profile, because a lot of people kind of use that personal profile for personal. Like that's where my family and friends see me on Facebook, especially if you live overseas, like your family's in Italy, your family's in New Zealand, you might be using that to connect with family and friends and think, well, that's not for business, so I don't want everyone to see my personal life. So what do you say to that?
Yes. I say get over it, like straight like that, because that's what it is. That's where you make the most connections. And imagine, can you join a Facebook group with a business profile? No, you can't, right? It has to be with a personal profile. People buy from people. People connect with people. So it's all about, building that relationship and letting your clients in. And my family in Italy, they either enjoy what I do and they love it, or they just go unfollow. And whenever they want to check me out, they just look my profile, right? So I connect with my family, over the phone. It doesn't need to be on Facebook. And my business is my life. So my business is my personal profile. I am the Meetup Queen. It's not that it's like a fake entity outside of me. So I need to live what I do and show people who I am all the time.
Yeah, agree.
My content manager actually said something to me last week that clicked, is that social media needs to be a little bit more social for you, Andrew. Like it's the stuff that I do, like my Fijoa video, my cooking song that I did. It's showing people that part of my personality.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's when they will love, they will fall in love and go, oh wow, I love your values, so then therefore I'm going to come along to...
There's a part of them that would come along to this $97 just to spend an afternoon with me, just to
hear you sing, darling.
To laugh and hear me sing. And hopefully most of them are coming for presenting, but you know what I mean? There is a part that just want to go, do you know what, I want to go spend a half a day with Andrew and see what he's like.
Because he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then if you do a good job here, then they will see the value of spending more time with you. Yes. So this is when it's our job to show them the value in those hours.
Nice.
Boom, you got it. I love it.
Boom.
Awesome.
I was waiting for this. It was the first time you said it. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Francesca.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm having so much fun. I don't want it to end.
Nicely warmed up. Okay. I'm going to ask you 10 questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
And you've got 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute per question.
1 minute.
1 minute total for 10 questions. So it's like quick fire.
Okay, boom. I love it. I love this.
Okay. Ready?
Francesca on steroids, go. Speed.
Biggest role model.
Tony Robbins.
Ooh, you're stuck on an island. What is the one thing you have with you?
My phone.
Best advice ever given personal.
Be you.
Nice. Worst advice ever given personal.
Just fake it until you make it.
Nice. Given one wish, what would it be?
What was that?
Given one wish by a genie,
That's
what would
wish.
it be?
Wish.
I'll translate his New Zealand accent.
Wish a family.
No, here.
Oh, what?
Given one wish, what would it be? What would you wish for?
Yeah, to have a family.
Oh, to have a family. Okay, sorry, I missed
Yes.
it. What's your favourite children's book?
The Little Prince.
Oh, nice. How do you find play in your business?
Playing.
Play. How do you find
Play.
play?
Play, fun.
have to work-
Dancing.
Yes. Oh,
Sorry,
is
your
that
accent.
dancing? Yes,
I've got accent, you've got
Name
accent.
something that makes you go, mmm.
You can't do that with that voice. Anyway, next question.
That voice?
Where did you actually made me blush? Where did you have your first kiss?
In the park.
In a park, nice. There'll be many who relate to that. And tell me something about you that I don't know. We don't know.
I'm getting a dog.
Ooh. So this has been the
cream.
Business Playroom. We're going to wrap this up now. Thank you very much for coming along.
Thank
you
you.
very much for being a panelist on here and playing with us. Is there something that we could all take away from this episode? What was your
Authenticity.
authenticity? Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is up here over the quality
Over quantity.
over quantity. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think for me, it's just be yourself, but get off your ass, get away from the computer and go out and see people.
Beautiful.
I've got one
Nice.
too.
Yes.
The connection. You know, the getting to know people face to face, and that, you know, Mark, I saw you online for a long time, and great to see you face to face, and it's different right now. Now you know.
Am I prettier?
There you go. Well, that was the Business Playroom. This is Series 2. Renee, Francesca Moi, and Mark, thank you very much. And that's it.
And Andrew, everyone.
Amy.
Andrew